Welcome everybody to the second edition of the Miller's All-Stars Poker Wrap-Up video. To my left here we have Mr. Peter Wiggins, extraordinary champion poker player. To my right here we have Timothy Stakelum.
I'm sorry, Keith. I'm just going to have to pull you up there. I'd like to be referred to as the champ for this interview.
The champ.
The chump.
The champ.
The chump.
The champ.
Champ.
Yeah. Look at his head. He wins one tournament, and my God, he's just going off.
Yeah.
How many have you won, Peter?
Hey, I won one before we started the series things, and I also won the first one at Gareth's house, so I've won two, is what I'm saying.
We all know what the feel of winning is, Tim. Remember a little while ago, this table, me, $600. Yeah, you'll get there one day. By the way, we just had a short break. We did a few cuts before this one, and Tim just recently went inside, and I believe he's done his hair. Very nice, Tim.
Which is going to be funny for the second segment, I'm going to say. But anyway, we'll get to
You'll understand later. Anywho, let's get straight into it. Let's not dick around. Before we actually started the tournament on Tuesday evening, we took the opportunity to interview our previous champ, Big Rob. Here's how the interview went.
Okay, Big Rob. Nice work last week, mate.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so you came first for the first time. How does that feel, big fella?
Good. Made it to the final three the first time.
How does it feel not to come last?
Yeah, no, nicely done. Can
What's
you
that, twice now?
take us through the final hand? What happened on the final hand?
Oh, hit 8-3.
Yep.
Didn't think it was king queen or something.
Yep.
8 on the flop. Hit my 3 on the river.
Nice. Two pair.
Didn't hit anything.
So when did the money get in?
All in before the flop.
Very nice. So you got all in before the flop with 8-3. Worked very nicely done.
Yeah. Didn't push me all in, so I called him.
Yep.
Went all in.
Absolutely.
Hit it hard.
Very nice, mate. How do you think you go this week?
Try and make top 3.
Top 3 again.
Top 3.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to have goals, my friend. Good luck with today's effort, and hope to interview you again after tonight as a winner.
Probably will. Maybe. I hope.
No, prem chance.
Yeah.
Good work.
Why not?
Well, wasn't he full of confidence?
And you know what else? How good was that interviewer? Wow. And what about his clothing?
Who is he?
I don't know. Some sexy bloke.
Sexy bloke.
Sexy.
We'll refer to the interviewer as Sexy Bloke.
SB for short.
SB.
Same deal.
Fair enough. So, tournament started at 8:13, sorry.
Yep.
So we were pretty on time this time.
Good start.
Good start time. Moving right along. Took ages for anyone to bust out.
It looks like 40 minutes, which is nearly, 3 levels each, because it took 20 minutes for the first 3.
And I put that on to, what did we have, 11 people on each table?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
bit
slow
down.
moving, yeah.
Slow moving, but you know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the first person was Ari, and the winner himself, champion Timothy Stakelum, was the person who bust out Ari. Straight after Ari, or reasonably soon after Ari, was the Italian Stallion, so they were falling like flies. Adrian was then busted by Bet.
And that was all before the first break.
That was just before the first break, but then we had a break, like 3 people out at the first break. Does that ever happen?
Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes into it. So
Have you ever done that before?
Well, even for your $15, even if you're not winning, an hour and 20 is value for money in my
That's
opinion.
good money.
Yeah.
That's money I'd like to get. Well, not really. Cause
Well, I mean, if you're spending 10 minutes on a $40 indoor soccer game, just remember, boys.
Soccer. Who'd play soccer?
I don't know.
Anyway. So, we had our break. During the break, we had the opportunity to interview the person who we thought was going to win. We were
Yeah.
pretty close,
We were pretty close.
especially considering there was only 3 people busted out. We interviewed Jared. Here's how it went.
Jared, first break, purple table. How have you seen it so far?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been an interesting one.
Yeah.
A few ups and downs, particularly with you.
Yeah, I was down to 34 chips and I'm back up to 170 after sucking out the Gareth's Kings. There was also a pretty interesting pot where someone went runner against top 2 and what's his folded? Who's that?
Weber.
Weber folded
Yeah.
top 2 pair, which was a bloody great fold to the nut straight. So, but how's your game in particular? I noticed you've been bitching about being completely card dead.
Yeah, been playing pretty tight tonight, I must admit.
Yeah.
Up and down. My bluffing just before really backfired.
Yeah,
So-
Jared decided to put a bet in of 80 with second pair. Got called by top pair, obviously. So he's down to what's the chip stack at the moment?
We're 200 and something.
He
So
got beat by about 30. So it won't double off for both of us, and we're back in the game, I think. So we'll have to see how the final table pan, or the final, all the levels to the final table pans out, I think.
Well, Jared was certainly confident then, and all the rights to be, as to see how far Jared got along in the tournament. So well done, Jared. We might interview again next time because you seem to be a pretty likely runner for coming first, second, or third.
Yeah, because he's got a horseshoe up his ass.
Maybe that's why he smiles so much.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I know I'd have a smile on my face if I had a horseshoe up my ass. So moving along, straight after the break, we've seen a bit of action happening. The blinds were getting high. As we said, it was up to the 4th round. So we're looking at 10-20 blinds. So in a bit of an order, we went, Lindo was busted out by myself. Squeak was then busted out by myself. Speaking of which, Squeak lasted 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's 3 times as long as last week.
That's a new record.
Well,
New record.
1 hour and 40 minutes. Try and beat it. And then Fulgham was also busted out by Miller. So that means I got 3 busts in a row.
So you would have had a large stack, in other words.
I had a large stack, yes. I had about 3 times the average, which I think at that stage was probably going to be around 600 to 700. So that was seeing me going reasonably well at that stage. Unfortunately, didn't last. After that happened, Gil was then busted out by Pig. Big Rob was busted out by Jared. At the same time, Cal was busted out by Jared.
Yeah.
Big Rob, I was disappointed.
Yeah, it's a very interesting hand which we'll get into a bit later in the show.
Yeah, I really want to take you out, Big Rob, next time. Next time, ha ha ha. Isn't that Inspector Gadget? Sorry. Then, who was out next?
Yeah.
I believe it was Mr. Wiggins on our
Yeah,
left.
and again, we'll get into that a bit later in my
Peter was
I
busted out
suck
by G-Man.
balls.
Then Jeff was busted out by Dim. Hadn't Dim only just turned up?
Yeah, Dimon only just turned up at that point. In fact, no, actually, that was he actually
that was when he busted the Stallion.
Yeah, the Stallion about an
Walks
hour
in the
before
door, takes off his coat, goes, should have told me guys. Oh, yeah, I'll bust you out now.
that. Nice.
Pretty well done, Dim.
In fact, I don't think Jeff was busted out by himself. I think you'll find he was busted with someone
Never.
else.
Come on, give me a break.
I believe there was. You were involved in this hand, Keith.
Looks like oh, look, I didn't even see my name
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Ouch.
What happened to that 3 times the average stack I've got on?
Tim took all that. That's
Fair
why
enough.
Tim won. Unfortunately. No, very well done, champion. Sorry. Then, after Dim busted me out with my chips, that was really at that stage, Tim had just taken them all, so I called all in with 40 chips. Well, look out, that was the blind, by the way. Dim was then busted out by Timmy.
But Dim, just before we get onto that,
Sorry, Dim made the top 10.
Dim made the top 10, so he squeaked into the top 10.
Definitely. So the top 10 was made up of Dim, who was busted out by Tim, G-Man, who was busted
Who
out.
came 9th?
Gareth came 9, busted out by Jared. Katie was then busted by Pig. Webber was busted by Tim. Dick Adams was busted by the nurse. I'd like to be busted by the nurse.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all?
I'd actually like to be busted by Dick Adams, quite frankly.
You like a bit of the dick?
Man, he's sexy, isn't he? Like, really?
Enough said. Move on.
Beck was then busted out by Pig. What does that make that? That makes the final
Four with one more to the bubble.
So who was the bubble boy? It was Pig.
And he's shaped like a bubble, so that's fair
Pig is a
enough.
bubble. So Pig was pushed out at 4th, so he really got the same amount of points as everyone else, but 1 extra one.
Yep.
Unless he got a few busts, which he did, so well done, Pig. So making the top 3, in the top 3 this week was, the nurse was busted out by Tim, and then Jared and Tim went into our marathon, as we like to call it, which
Yeah.
I'm sure we can talk about it later on in the segment.
Yep, absolutely. I agree.
Because I don't want to go too far into it because it went forever. Which makes the grand champion,
This guy.
Timothy. So Tim enjoyed winning, of course.
Oh,
we all
definitely.
do.
The money came in handy.
Indeed.
Bought a case of beer.
So right after this, we're going to interview Tim, but right now we're going to have a break. Click there to see the next part.